You're with 702 and Taklk. This is Early Breakfast.
We're fast approaching the business end of the United Rugby Championship. This evening, the Bulls are away to the Dragons. That match starting at 9:15. Tomorrow, we'll see the Stormers playing host to Connect at 2:45 at the Cape Town Stadium here in Cape Town. And then the Lions are host to Glasgow Warriors at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And the final match involving the South African team, the Sharks, they are away to Ospreys. Joining me on the line to preview all those matches is Koning, our freelance rugby journalist. Jan, a very good morning and welcome back to the show.
Morning, Africa. Thank you for having it. Such a pleasure to be back.
Let's start with the two away games, shall we? How are the Bulls going to do against the Dragons, do you think?
Yeah, both the Bulls and the Sharks, I mean, obviously the Sharks, they're both on tour, but the next 2 weeks for all four of the teams that you just mentioned are very significant because of the positions and the race for the top eight. So the Bulls got a really good chance to finish fourth or higher, so that gives them home ground advantage in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals because they play the Dragons and they should be able to get, even though it's a difficult and a challenging Dragons team, they should be able to get 5 points. And the same next week with the Scarlets. So in Wales, if they can get 10 points from this, they're putting themselves in a very strong position. And I think in reverse, the Sharks have got with their backs to the wall. I mean, they're playing Ospreys tomorrow, and then they go across to Scotland and they play Edinburgh. And that's a very, very challenging trip. The problem for me is the Sharks have got a significant injury list. And it's almost not who they have in the team, but who they don't have in the team. You know, if you've got players like Apelele Fassi, Bongi Mbonambi, Eben Etzebeth, Sia Khaleesi, if those players are missing, I mean, and you've got Ox on the bench, so they've got a very young team. So I don't want to say JP Peterson is giving up on the playoffs. I think he is, but he's also thinking long term. So the Sharks are going to struggle to get into the playoffs, and their next two matches, they need to get 7-8 points out of the next two matches, or they're in trouble. So I think that's a significant thing for me.
Absolutely. The Stormers are going to have a very wet field tomorrow when they take on, is it Connacht? Is that how you pronounce the team's name?
Connacht, yeah. Well, it depends if you want to throw an Irish accent in. Connacht or Connacht, it depends what part of Ireland you come from or what part of South Africa you come from. So I've heard the Irish that struggle with that name. It's going to be it's not a full strength Connacht team. Players like Bandi Aki didn't come; they're resting them, but they're still a tough team. I mean, if you look at that, the way they play and the type of player they have, and given the weather conditions, I don't think the Stormers are going to be able to run a lot. But they should still beat Connacht, and the Stormers is in a very good position. I mean, second on the log, they need to get a win, and they need to keep pressure on Glasgow Warriors for that top place. I mean, if the Stormers can finish top, that means they host all the playoff matches, and this is all significant. That's why right at the outset I said the next 2 weeks are going to be important, because if you lose this week or next week, suddenly there's pressure on you. The same with the Lions, who's also fifth in the standings and a good chance of being in the playoffs. So you drop a match in the next 2 weeks, you suddenly got pressure on you in the last 2 weeks. So can the Stormers win tomorrow? Yes, they can. They should. But then they've got Glasgow Warriors arriving the following week. So that's going to be a top of the table clash. So I think the picture emerges that it's massive the next 2 weeks. Same with the Lions. They play Glasgow this week, and then they get Connacht coming to visit them. So the Stormers and the Lions are swapping opponents. And it's massive games that can determine, make or break your season.
All the best, of course, to our South African teams, all participating in the United Rugby Championship. As Jan Koning just articulated, it's a crunch period as we approach the business end of the championship.